we'll start with the main event, Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman. I'll be honest, obviously out here in Bulgaria, they don't show it. I was asking everyone, I said, is there any bars or anything like that show it? They were like, no. I went on ESPN Plus. I was using a VPN trying to find it. I was trying to do everything I could to try and watch it here in the middle of the night. Couldn't do it. And I just thought to myself, well, I've got no choice. I'll have to go to bed. And then in the morning, I'll find it on like a site. I'll be able to find it somewhere online. So that's what I did. So I watched it, and it sucks because it takes the fucking excitement out of it, because, of course, by this point I'd already seen some tweets and I'm a part of some group chats and whatnot, do you know what I mean, which I looked at, so I already knew that Leon had got the job done. He did it. He had a great opening round, you know. He surprised him with that takedown. He got the mount, and then rounds 2, 3, 4 Kamaru completely took over. But from your perspective there in the arena, how did you see it, Anthony?
So I probably have a little bit different of an opinion of that first round. Obviously, he dominated that round. Got a takedown, first legitimate takedown, at least one that the stats counters are going to count. Ended up mounted, took his back, and just kind of stayed there the whole time.
Right. But took the back of the body triangle, correct?
Yeah. See, I thought that was going to hurt him more than it was going to help him if he couldn't get a finish, because he's a striker. Like, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. Like, I could spend an entire 25 minutes on somebody's back in the body triangle, and it's not going to affect me at all. But when you're not typically a grappler or a wrestler, as soon as you get that takedown, you know a guy like Kamaru Usman is going to freak the fuck out. So it was everything he could do to hold him down anyways. And then to take his back, have to hold the body triangle. He's constantly going back and forth trying to get the finish. I'm not saying don't get the finish, but as hard as he worked at it, I think maybe he said his body wasn't responding. And you know how it is sometimes, and maybe, people that don't fight or never been an athlete don't understand this, but the announcements and them, like your walkout, the announcements in a main event, they call the sponsors, they do all the lights. It takes a while. So it does, even if you're warm as shit in the back, by the time you actually come to the center and the referee says, are you ready? Are you ready? And you fight, it's been a while. So you're kind of cooled off a little bit already. The worst thing for your cardio is to be cool and then go from 0 to 100, because then you just feel super gassed, like you didn't have like a ramp up process to that. So for that to happen right away, I think that's probably a good part of the reason why he keeps saying his body wasn't responding the way he wanted it to. I think he just gassed himself, and it took him 2, 3, and 4 to get to his like second wind. And then he was controlled. I don't want to say he was dominated, but he was controlled, and he looked kind of flat, and he wasn't able to shift it into that next gear and really turn it up a little bit. And Usman did a really good job of mixing in the takedowns better than he has done in a long time. I think part of it is because he was with Colby Covington, and you can mix in the takedowns all you want. Even if you shoot, you're going to work just as hard as he is. So there's no real benefit there, I think. So the up and down game, I think, really helped him out. Lots of feints, lots of fake shots. I think he did a fantastic job there. I think Leon was masterful in setting up the head kick, and it's actually a little frustrating that I think so many people aren't giving him the credit for it. It's just, oh yeah, it was a great head kick. He threw even Daniel was like, oh, he threw the 2 and then the head kick. Like,
let's have a look.
Here comes, there it is, 2 head kicks. Yeah. So Brian, go back just a little bit if you could. Right there. Okay. So at the 2-minute mark, left in the round, Leon Edwards was going like feinting the 2 and then throwing the inside leg kick. Every single time Kamaru Usman was parrying and then like taking that other hand and sweeping the leg in front of him. So he did it like twice back to back. And one time that's when he hit him with that low blow. He kind of kicked him in the balls. But he had done that 3 or 4 other times through the fight where he's parrying the jab on one side and then sweeping the leg by in front of him. So I remember looking at Ray and saying, like, he's setting up the head kick, because Kamaru was doing the same thing every time. Like he conditioned him to parry the jab, sweep the leg, parry the jab, sweep the leg. And he parried the jab, which put his hand on the other side of his face, and then went to sweep the leg. And that's why he got kicked in the face with his hands crossed in front of him. He essentially opened a window for the kick to go right through. I just want Leon to at least get the credit for
Oh,
keeping that head kick pocketed for most of the fight until it was the right moment. I think
it's one of his best
genius.
attacks. In fact, he did that against Bilal Muhammad, but unfortunately, it resulted in an eye poke. It was the exact same attack. Leon was talking about it at the post-fight press conference. Yeah, I thought he had a great opening round. To your point, I thought 2, 3, 4. Kamaru showed, what makes him a great champion. He did mix things up very, very well. I thought he was doing a lot of great damage against the fence and just upstairs, downstairs, going up. He'd defend the strikes. He'd go with the combinations, working the body, grab the legs, and just rinse and repeat, And that was kind of like, the path to victory for Kamaru Usman. Leon did a good job, but when he was getting taken down, getting back to his feet. And as you say, in the 5th round, it wasn't just a fluke. He wasn't just throwing a head kick. He set it up masterfully. And I think, given what Kamaru did there and the way that he defended it, that is the difference between, a world-class striker, and with respect to Kamaru, I am not in any way talking shit, a guy that's added on striking to his wrestling ability. You are still going to get caught in those kind of tricks, you know what I mean? And parrying shots that aren't there. No, don't get me wrong, they're traps. Traps are designed for everyone. It doesn't matter how good you are. You know what I mean? It can still work. You know what I mean? But Leon, that's his bread and butter. That's what he does. He's masterful in there with the strikes, and what a fucking shot. Do you know what I thought was really cool? That when he went down and he was clearly not getting back up, because Leon got there in time to land a couple more shots. And he didn't. He pulled himself away. He ran up. He leaned over him. He thought about it. He thought, nah, it's not required. It's not essential. I've done this. I've got it in the bag. So I thought that was very, very classy.
Yeah, I thought so too. But you know what I mean? You land one of those real clean shots, when you go and they're done dealing. To be honest with you, I've never done that. I would have followed him down for sure. But it's not so much that I'm trying to just put another shot on somebody. Mine is panic.
You want to make sure it's fucking done.
I'm not walking off and then you get back up and then I just fuck myself. Mine is panic. Like, I need to hurry up and get him finished before the referee, so the referee steps in before something else happens. So it's never that I'm trying to be a dickhead. How about that post-fight speech though? I don't think I've ever, that his post-fight interview with Joe, I don't think I've ever felt so emotional, like watching. I think I'm like deep down, maybe I'm from the UK.
Oh, bro, you are.
I'm telling you, I think I am, because now
they're gonna do your what is it, 93 meal? Was it ancestry DNA or whatever? He comes out. You're from Birmingham, bro.
I think I am.
You're just gonna talk like this, Anthony. Anthony, try and do a Birmingham accent. Just talk like this, mate.
Is that a Birmingham accent?
Yeah, mate. That's how they talk.
No,
they talk
I can't
like
do it.
this.
I can't.
Just give it a fucking go, mate.
I'm not fucking doing it.
Oh, that would be legendary getting you doing a Birmingham accent.
I'm so bad at it. But I feel like connected to like your journey and Leon's. Like, I want those two moments so fucking bad that I was just I was so hype, and like just listening to him scream, like, look at me now, over and over and over in the arena, was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
I've never seen a crowd go crazy like that for so long. And normally people win and you start seeing, 50% of the crowd leaves.
Yeah.
Everybody fucking stayed.
With the main event, they're out the door.
Everybody stayed. Everybody fucking stayed. And like, he just went off on the microphone. It was crazy.
Oh, wow. It's amazing. I'll be honest, because I watched it on one of those crappy sites. The post-fight interview wasn't on there. I wish I'd have seen it now, and I wish I'd have seen it live. But then
afterwards, though, I don't care. I'll bring it up. He did say something that bothered me in his post-fight, like the media scrum or whatever. He had said they were talking about him being the second champion from the UK. And behind you, and then he said something along the lines of, well, Michael definitely did, but he did it while living in America, like almost dismissing the fact that you won a title as a guy from the UK, but it doesn't count because you were living in America when it happened. So like he was almost saying like he's the real first one from the UK, which I don't think is fair. I don't think that's I don't know. It bothered me, to be honest with you. And I don't know if he meant it to come off that way, but it bothered me for sure.
Well, thank you. No, I saw an article on MMA Junkie. I was just, in between takes shooting this Hollywood movie, don't you know? And just scrolling Facebook, and I saw it there, and it just kind of made me roll my eyes. I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit here and shit on what he did at the weekend at all. I'm so happy for him. Leon's a great guy, and I've been a massive cheerleader for his career for a long time. But I saw that, and I just kind of I rolled my eyes a little bit. I don't really understand it, if I'm quite frank. I don't have an issue with it, but it's just, it's not.
When did you move to America?
I moved to let's start like this. I signed with the UFC in 2005. I moved to the UFC at the end of to America at the end of 2011, and I won the belt in 2016. But I was the first UFC guy to win the Ultimate Fighter. British guy to win the Ultimate Fighter. First British guy to main event, first British guy to win the belt, first British guy in the Hall of Fame, and I have a fucking British passport, and I did it all whilst living in the UK, and then moved there because I saw him say that, I had to move to America. I had no fucking team. The team that I was with were all crooks, and they were stealing my money, and we ended up going to a massive lawsuit, and there was threats made. It was all very, very, very messy. So at that time, I just said, right, fuck this. I'm done. And I had a fight coming up, and I had no team, and I had no camp, and I had people that I knew because I'd done training camps out in the States. I was like, all right, well, fuck it, let's go out there. And the plan wasn't to stay there, but we went out there and did some camps, some training camps, and the kids ended up in school and all the rest of it. And now here we are 10 years later, still there. So I'm still very much fucking English, and I've got a British passport. Sorry, that one's not valid, but we'll leave that one there because I don't want to take away from his big moment. I don't want to.
No. And maybe it just, maybe it came off weird, but it was.
No, he's not the first one.
It reminded me of Connor.
Paddy Pimblett said it as well. Paddy Pimblett said it a long time ago. So then I had him on the show when he first came on, and I was joking. I just pulled his leg about it. I said, hey, Paddy, I've been meaning to pick a bone to pick with you, and I mentioned it there, and he goes, I knew this was going to come up, lads. Fucking hell, mate. Yeah, no, I said that ages ago. But yeah, no, it's all good, mate. It's all good. It's set in stone. Sorry, it's gone. It's gone. There can only be one. I am the Highlander. You can all go fuck yourselves. I wish you all the best. I always wanted more champs, and there will be. I think Aspinall's still going to be a champ. I think Arnold Allen's got a great chance. I think that Darren Till, people roll their eyes when I say it. Darren Till's still got it. He's still there. He's still right there. Still right there. He is. So congrats, Leon. I could not be happy for you.
Anthony Smith.
Oh, bro, you're an honorary Brit now.
I am.
You're an honorary Brit. Next time,
I wear the UK shorts.
Do some live podcasts in the UK.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Dude.
That'd be so fun.
They'll love it, and they'll go crazy for you. They'll say, yeah, Bisping, you're not even from England. You're American.
But Anthony, he's from the UK.
He's from the UK.
I'm going to change. You can pick when you, like, what country you want to represent. I'm telling you, I'm changing my shorts.
You're walking out with the British flag.
Fuck yeah. Let's go.
Or the Jamaican flag. Isn't Leon from Jamaica? Anyway,
that's where he was born, right?
We'll leave that one there.
Yeah, we're getting in trouble for that.
No. Hey, proud of him. I'm so proud. And certainly to do it against Kamaru Usman. And I think that's probably partly why the crowd was going so crazy, because, Kamaru has grown into such a superstar within the sport. There's lots of stars and all the rest of it, but Kamaru does have a special shine. He's got massive recognition. He's defended the belt, 6 times, 7 times, something like that.
That was going to be 6.
Yeah, it was going to be 6. Okay, so, an incredible victory. And to finish it the way he did, one head kick, just fucking stunning, beautiful.
It might be the most historical head kick in MMA history.
Have you ever done that? Because I've never done it in a fight, but I've one kick knocked out 3 or 4 people in sparring, and it feels fucking good.
I did it once as an amateur, very similar to Leon's, just nasty left head kick. And then I head kicked Andrew Sanchez, but I followed him down, so I finished it with shots, but he was already out. But it was a pretty nasty one too.
I did it when I was training for GSP. I had 2 head kick knockouts, left high kick. One was, what was he called? He's a Bellator fighter. I forget his name. Good wrestler, heavy hands. We brought him in. Fuck, I forgot his name. And another one I shouldn't say, but fuck it, I will. Patrick Cummins. I slept in with the head kick as well. No, sorry, Pat. So you shouldn't talk about this stuff. But you said your one, so I'm like, fuck it, let me brag as well.
Yeah.
Congrats, Leon. What do you think happens next? Do you think it's going to be an immediate rematch? I would assume so, given the fact that Kamaru is so established as a champ.
Mm-hmm. And in the UK. I think that's what happens. I think it happens in the UK.
I saw Dana say Wembley Stadium, something like that. I mean, that would just... Well, and that's what they did for me. You know, because it's weird, because when that American won the belt over Luke Rockhold, for some reason, they said, we've got to bring the next fight back to the UK. Right. And I defended the belt. My next fight was against Henderson at UFC 204 in the middle of the fucking night. And before you all start, it's because there was a storyline. Henderson had knocked me out. Henderson knocked out Hector Lombard on the same fight. All the pieces fell into place. Wasn't my choice. I never picked him. Dana and Lorenzo called me Monday morning. I'm still hungover. They called me to say congratulations, and said, yeah, we're thinking you versus Henderson. It just makes perfect sense. You want to do it in the UK? He said Manchester, London, or Wales, the Millennium Stadium. I said it's got to be fucking Manchester. So yeah, that's what they'll do, and that'll be amazing for British fans and for the sport. I mean, fuck me, 3 times in a year. Come on, Smith, we're going.
We gotta go. We gotta go, especially in
live shows. We're doing live shows. We're touring.
We have to. That would be fucking huge. Huge.
We're doing it.
How fucking cool for fucking Leon Edwards. And how awful for Kamaru Usman to be 1 fight away from tying Anderson Silva. You're trying to establish yourself as the greatest welterweight of all time. You're trying to do all these things. You're unbeatable. You're the pound for pound GOAT. And then, like, what people are going to remember about you, not me, but like the general public, like you were like, Saturday morning, he woke up 1 fight away from tying Anderson Silva for most consecutive wins. He went to bed Saturday night as a fucking meme.
I have to stop you there. And this is not a negative on Kamaru Usman. I'm a huge fan of the guy. And I'm a huge fan of him, not only in the octagon, but as a person. He's a class act, man. I like him a lot. I really do. But I saw all this narrative that, you know, he's going to tie Anderson's record and all the rest. Anderson did that in title fights, not just consecutive wins. I think he had 11 title fights or something crazy like that.
Which is crazy.
I think that holds more weight than just
because he was in a title fight in his second UFC fight.
Chris Lieben, Rich Franklin took the belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not knocking Kamaru.
I wish you would have reminded me of that.
Do you know what I mean? That's a little different. To do it in fucking title fights, I'm sorry, it doesn't hold the same gravitas.
I agree. I definitely agree. But that was still the narrative and probably how Usman feels. And then he goes to bed Saturday night and he's a meme, you know, like eyes wide open, unconscious, stiff. Like, it makes me kind of sad for him. Like, because whether it was as important as Anderson's run, 15 straight fights in the UFC without a loss is hard to do. I mean, look how many people have done it, you know, not a lot. So it sucks because he put in so much work and now, you know, it's how the world is, you know, people will shit on you when you lose.
Well, sadly, it is. It's certainly the sport of mixed martial arts is what have you done for me lately? And I always say, you're only as good as your last fight, sadly, you know, and you're right. The masses, you know, the very, very casual fans, you know, there'll be a lot of people that might have been there Saturday night. There was the first UFC event. Maybe didn't know much about Kamaru Usman, you know what I mean? And then they just think of him the guy that lost in the main event, which isn't fair. So that's going to be, I mean, Leon's going to have to be ready, you know, for the rematch, because Leon's going to come hard. And I'm not saying that he underestimated him. There's no way. Kamaru's not that type of guy. He's not going to underestimate Leon. He knows the threats that he possesses. I saw that Leon was saying that if Diaz beats Hamzat, then he'd be up for letting him skip the line and then fight for the belt. Of course, Leon's going to say that, because who doesn't want to do that against Nate Diaz and get those pay-per-view dollars? Two things. One, I think after Hamzat, he's out the door. I don't mean out the door, but he's not going to be with the UFC anymore. He's parting ways. 2, I don't think he beats Hamzat, let's be honest. And 3, Kamaru's going to get the immediate rematch.
Right. Which would be, but goddamn, wouldn't that be cool though to get some Nate Diaz pay-per-view points?
Oh yeah.
God damn. Plus,
You never
he's
know.
already beat him.
Hey. Oh,
And he's
go on.
not
Sorry,
beating.
I'll let you go. I was gonna interrupt.
He's not beating Chimaev. It's just, I love
But
Nate
if he
Diaz.
did, but let's just play with this. If he did beat Chimaev, because listen, let's be honest, he's only human. He's only human, right? And Nate Diaz is tough as fuck. I would put a large amount of money on Khamzat to beat him, right? I am utterly confident, but
Right.
it's not beyond the realms of possibility. If Diaz pulled it off, let's just say he catches in a triangle or something like that, then, because I don't know what Diaz thinks, he's going to go off and fight Jake Paul, he's going to go box for this guy, he's going to do bare knuckle boxing, God knows what his plan is, right? It's probably Jake Paul. UFC might turn around and say, title fight, Leon Edwards, are you sure you want to go and fight somewhere else?
I bet he would stay.
I bet he'd stay.
Because I think he really knows. He, like, in his mind, he knows he can beat Leon Edwards.
Well,
especially after hurting him.
He clocked Leon in the 5th round.
Yeah,
big
had
time.
Him hurt bad. Yeah, had him hurt.
And isn't this crazy? Because you had people like Dan Hardy when the fight was first made saying Khamzat versus Nate Diaz is someone's going to end up on assault charges because this is ridiculous. The whole MMA journalists and all the websites came out and condemned the fight, that it was just, too brutal and too much of a beatdown. But we're now showing a way that perhaps, Leon, he can fight Leon for the belt because Leon cracked him in the 5th round. Sorry, Diaz cracks Leon in the 5th round. And that's fine. He's the champion of the world. He just beat Kamaru Usman, the pound for pound guy. Why wasn't that fight a robbery? I just don't understand.
Right. I don't like the matchmaking either, though. I don't like the Nate Diaz fight because it is a high likelihood that Chimaev buzzsaws right through Nate Diaz. But it is not impossible. It is not impossible that Nate Diaz, Khamzat gets a little complacent, shoots in on a lazy double, and Nate snatches his fucking neck up. It is totally possible.
Totally possible, 100%. Brian, what were you putting in there? As I was trying to look at the notes, I have a ring light on my monitor of my screen. That's why my light's a little bit funky, but you know what I mean. And in the chat, it's blocking it.
Oh, sorry, I was just clearing up. Anderson Silva had 13 title fights in the UFC, including the rematch with Chris Weidman.
Wow. 13. That's insane. That's why I loved that guy so much. And that's why I was such a fan. And that's why I wanted to fight him so badly. What a legend.